And I'll just jump on you.
I did I did a 10 a.m. call, and I'm doing an 8 p.m. call, and they're both related to loving yourself, and it just happens to be National I Love You Day, which I discovered that today. I did not know that. Did you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, remind me your name. And you, Marissa. Okay.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Are you, okay, is there someone else on?
No, so it's Marissa.
Marissa.
And then
yeah,
Josine is here in person.
Okay.
And then no worries, Bryn, this is going to be recorded, so we can go deeper into it. And I'm talking to someone on Periscope. So it's being broadcasted on Periscope, and people can watch it.
But Bryn can't talk to us.
No, people on Periscope can't talk to us. They can only put messages. So Bryn is bummed. She's out to dinner. She thought it was at 10 p.m. But
it's recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded, so she can watch it.
Hey.
Okay, so how I'm going to start tonight is I'm going to start by, so did both of you see the worksheet?
Yeah, I saw that. I really liked that. I thought it was like a really good idea, and it made you self-aware. And
Okay, awesome. I can't see your face, your cute face.
Me?
I just see your mouth.
Maybe she
oh,
should
really?
tilt your
That's weird.
screen.
It's on the camera here. It shows my whole face.
Okay. And then for the people on Periscope, if you want to get access to the worksheet, you can go to my website, which is in my link on my my Periscope profile. So it's vanessafiles.com, and then go to the blog section. Or if you came from, who's on with me? We have one person. And I want to know if I know you. Okay, we'll wait to see. But you can get the worksheet from the latest blog post, which is called Let's Talk About Body Image. And there's a video and then a downloadable worksheet. So I'm going to start with you guys. And so, Josine, the worksheet was, I'll get you it. But it was let's see. Oh, hi, Lori. Awesome. Did you get the worksheet? Okay. So the worksheet was the Louise Hay. Awesome. Okay. The worksheet was it was the Louise Hay mirror exercise.
No, I don't know it.
Okay. So it's on page 35. Josine has the book with her.
All right.
And it's it is looking yourself in the mirror and saying I love you. It's a little different saying. But it's basically I love and accept you. And you state your name and you look in your eye. So did you do the exercises, Marissa?
Yeah, I did. I actually did.
And good. That's awesome. What was your experience? Do you want to share?
Sure. I mean, I kind of did it in my head, and I mean, it's kind of hard because, I mean, you're so busy every day, and you really have to just think about, like, what do you really love about yourself, and it's kind of hard with all the, like, I mean, with just so many, like, standards of how you have to look, but after a while, I'm like, well, you know, this is what I do like about myself, I mean, I like my smile and things like that, and I just thought about the things that, like, made me happy, and then kind of went from there, so.
Mm-hmm. Did it bring up any awareness for you, like, that it was surprising? Like, oh, this is harder than it seems?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I was thinking, like, why am I doing this? You know, I could be, you know, I just kind of second thought myself a little bit, and it did make me self-aware about, you know, how I was thinking so negatively before, because I'd wake up in the morning and just be like, wow, I look terrible, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it made you self-aware that you should just be nice to yourself, because it does give you confidence in who you are, and that's a good thing, so.
Yes, exactly. And so Marissa's in high school. What year in high school are you?
I'm a junior now. So.
Okay. So this is really cool that you are doing this as a junior in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Because you're going to be way ahead of the game. People were telling me I was ahead of the game when I was, like, doing it at 23.
Wow.
You know? So, yeah, Lori's giving us hearts up here. On Periscope. Lori, did you do the worksheet or do the exercises? Yep. She's given us hearts.
I can't hear anything else, but I don't
What?
know. Am I supposed to be hearing another video? Or
No, she can't talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she can write.
Yeah, she can write. Yeah. Okay. And so Josine didn't have the worksheet prior to this, but
But I know Louise Hay's work, so I've done.
Yeah.
Like I look in the mirror like naked with my whole body and try to appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I'm 56, so that's a good thing to be doing.
Yeah.
Loving my body and just saying I love you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, but I did it earlier with, okay, so Lori's done these before. So Josine, I'm just going to repeat it just so everyone hears. She practices loving herself in the mirror naked, and I think that is huge. That was something that's where I moved to as well. Like, when you're first doing it with your face, it can easily be, like, oh, wow, but really, just every time that you're in a mirror. So something that I've recommended to clients often is, you know, what's interesting is how many people, Lori goes scary. You'll get there, Lori. So it's interesting how people actually avoid mirrors. And that has come up with clients and just different people I've talked to about this work, is they've just completely decided to avoid mirrors because
I learned I was just in France, and I learned it was very French to always look in the, as you're passing a building and there's a glass window, they always look in the windows.
And like look at themselves?
And fix themselves, and, they're very into fashion and how they look. So.
And here that would be considered like vain.
Yeah, exactly. It's
But
crazy.
it really looks confident on them.
Yeah. They always tell you, be more confident in yourself, but then when you kind of are, they think, oh, she's conceited about herself. Or
Well, I don't think they do it when they're walking with a group of people, but when they're by themselves. If you're distracting yourself from your friends and always looking at yourself instead of being with them, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Right.
Or when you're talking to somebody and there's a reflection, a mirror, and they're like watching themselves talk. Yeah. It's like, all right, calm down.
Start doing your makeup.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to share a testimonial from a client who, this came in completely organically, and she actually was reading the book prior to working with me, and so I'm just going to share her testimonial because it really ties in nicely and it taps into some deeper things, and then we're going to have a little more conversation, and then we'll do a meditation. So that's the fun part. All right, so it reads, and Lori, I think she just rejoined. I'm just going to read a testimonial, and then we're going to go into the meditation here. Okay, so it reads, I started on this journey of self-discovery and self-love about 2 years before I began working with Vanessa, and I made some strides from following the guidelines in Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. But many times over, I found myself hitting a plateau that included both the physical, mental, and emotional aspects of my life. I thought that the majority of negative thoughts I was thinking about myself were coming from the physical, so that's what I worked on the most. I lost weight and then worked on changing my thoughts to reflect my new body. But I still never felt truly happy and still didn't believe I was good enough because I wasn't in a size 0 and I didn't have a significant other in my life. Weight came and went, and I'd be really good at thinking positively for a couple weeks, but then I'd start nagging at myself again. It wasn't until I started working with Vanessa that I realized there were thoughts and experiences so ingrained in my mind from childhood that they were negatively affecting my energy and preventing me psychologically from changing. Vanessa helped me dig deep and think about where it could all have started. And once that became clear, it was a lot easier to focus on forgiveness and the areas I needed to work on instead of just telling myself to be happy and confident. Vanessa helped me discover different ways to buy pie. I learned how to meditate and talk to the ego and say that I choose to think differently and attract the positive instead of living in a place of negativity with constant damaging self-talk. And with Vanessa's help, I have become aware of my thoughts and their impact on my physical life. That I've always known and I always know when I feel off and it's time to reconnect. So the reason that I share that, there's many, but one of the main ones and where I want to segue this into is it would be, we can do the exercises and I think sometimes a lot of times with positive work and positive affirmation work, people think that, oh, I'm just going to be positive and then it all works. But really, and what we learned from that testimonial and that story is that there are things that are rooted in your pattern of how you are from your childhood, from things that were said to you. Beyond that, like things from your lineage, what your parents experienced, what their, ancestors experienced. So,
they say it goes back 6 generations.
Does it?
Yeah, they can
Okay.
trace it back.
Yeah, I believe it. I see that often with people who are working on stuff, and that's always really sometimes takes away some of the burden when, yes, past lives also, Lori just shared. That takes away some of the burden of when people hear that, because it's not just it may feel so strong for someone trying to break it now, or for an individual. It's because you're actually breaking it for many, many lifetimes or, past lives, lineage. So it's like kind of a relief, like, oh man, like, okay, I'm getting to release this and then I don't have to pass it on to my children or, but it's a lot of work. So, and sometimes this positive way of being and thinking, a lot of times what isn't talked about is the hard stuff and hitting on those traumas, hitting on those negative things that happen in your life. It's painful. And so the reason I chose to make sure that I did this follow-up call and bring people on to talk is that you go and do that exercise, that can bring up a lot of stuff for you. And that's actually why it works, is because you start doing the work, you start saying these things and putting it out to the universe or putting it out to God or putting it out to the higher power that this is actually available now to come into you. And now what happens? Yes, you may see a lot of positive things come up, but you also may start to see the negative things show up.
Is that because, like, when I say, I love myself, I'll say, yeah, but not my nose. And so that's attached to it. Even though I'm sitting around saying, I love myself, I'm still going, but not the nose.
Yeah.
And so this helps get rid of that kind of negative attachment to the positive.
Yes, and your nose, you can actually change your nose. So that was my experience in this work, and I had heard this, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, I can love myself pretty, or I can love myself altered. But that's essentially, so when someone is in the space of like, they don't believe this, and they're being so self-damaging, and it's going to be really hard for them to believe it. But, and I was that person. I was like, thinking, and that's when then people start to think that they have to have surgery. Or, and that is just more and more self-hatred, really, that you're could possibly be attracting. But that's what starts to happen. So yeah, you have to eliminate that last tag on. And it's very, where another place that I tell people to pay attention to is when you look in the mirror, what do? Like most people, they point out everything that they would have different about their body. Yeah. So then what are you doing? You're drawing more attention to that area and how, bad it is. So I had this woman, a mentor of mine, she told me, that she was, her hair was starting to thin. And so in her meditation practice, she just started like thickening her hair and bringing positive messaging. And her hairdresser actually like commented on it. She was like, your hair is getting thicker. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to grow my boobs. And I seriously think I did. I grew like a cup size. I could have just been, I could have just been gaining some weight, but I actually had a couple people ask me if I got a boob job.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like